Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, or whenever you're watching this live. Today, I am very excited. It's because whenever I learn something, I am excited. I think like many of you, I am a lifelong learner, and I would love to learn new things. So today's expert is. I'm so excited. I'm so excited about this, and I put out a post last a couple of weeks ago and asked, can someone come and talk about Instagram? And this girl or this coach, this expert, or I don't know, I see that she came on and said, I would be, I've learned, I've been doing this for the last 2 years. And I said, just that's the right spirit. I love people who come on the first and say, I will do it. That's a part of it, isn't it? First come, first serve. So Lindsay is Instagram influencer at such an age. I don't know how these uh, how influencers get started. I really don't. It just boggles me. Yeah, people say it's number one is more important, but she is really admirable for me, at least. And she is a public speaker. And she said to me yesterday that I forgot to mention this terminology, which she uses, fierce fat feminist. Uh, but she is one of a firecracker, really. I admire that. And she's an activist and also an Instagram coach. She coaches other business coaches who wants to use Instagram and become the influencer in their own market. And all the knowledge which she has gained is through the experience. But she's got really brilliant stories which she will share with you. She gained this through her own experience, and she's got, can you believe, she's got 17.5 thousand or 17,500, that's the right way to put it, followers, to which is really, I think, mind-boggling at this time. And also teach other people how to use the platform effectively, because that's effectiveness is what matters. It doesn't matter whether you're posting every day, whether you've got thousands and thousands of followers. It's about using a particular platform effectively makes you an influencer as well. So she strongly advocates inclusion and accessibility, which is been a pet topic for me when I was consulting for governments and when I was consulting for corporates, because that is more into it. We call it non-functional requirement. It doesn't have any function as such to the system, but having that adds value to whatever you provide. So that is what I'm going to stop talking and get Lindsay on. And she is, you will think, okay, yeah, she got it right. She is a firecracker. Hey, Lindsay, thank you for joining.
Hi.
So Lindsay, tell us a little bit about ourselves.
Okay, so
Yourself.
I'm Lindsay McGlone. I'm the Fierce Fat Feminist. I'm an activist, public speaker, and Instagram coach. I'm also an influencer, although I go more down the line of teaching others now. I've kind of had my time. I've been doing it for 4 years, and it's
Oh,
more.
come on, you're only 22, women.
It's more credible to teach the skills that I've learned onto other people to enhance their businesses, enhance their little shops, those cafes, museums. I've worked with all sorts of people. In my activism and public speaking, I speak about being plus size and what that means in society and how, plus size bodies get trapped. And also, I work in healthcare and I've worked with learning disabilities and mental health, which means that accessibility and inclusion is a vital part of everything that I teach.
Ooh, that's good. Tell us about how you started initially. How did you get what? I mean, I know my nephews and nieces. They just, oh, my friends are there. I'll just get on that platform and master it. So how did you get started? And you said you started 2012, 2014. I don't know. Maybe I've got it wrong.
So I had Instagram as a social media platform. It was new when I know I'm young, but when I was a lot younger, it was new and exciting, and everybody was on Instagram. So I used it as purely as a social media platform. And then when I started to do my activism and speak about things that was passionate to me, I made a conscious effort to grow my account, grow my audience, and make direction with my reach, so that it was people that I wanted to hear my message and wanted to carry that message forward. So in 2016, I made the decision to clear out my account. I got rid of about 2,000 followers. So I was on 3,000 followers. And within the year, I was back up to 10,000 followers. And I'm always careful with that word followers, because it's a community. It's not about a following. And I think the people who do well on Instagram are the people who are not disingenuous and actually create a community rather than just a load of people who follow them. It's about being genuine and real. And then I started working with brands to, promote their things, and that's how I became an influencer. So influencer marketing is quite important to me as well. And then 2 years ago, I kept getting asked over and over again, because people saw my growth and they were like, how do you do it? How do you do it? And I was like, there's no point in me teaching it, because I've learned it all myself. And a lot of people said, well, that's beneficial because it's coming from what you've learned. So I taught it, and here I go 2 years later, and I'm still teaching it.
Oh, yeah, you'll be teaching it. That's a platform once established grows exponentially. I don't think many people were that much concentrated on learning about Instagram even 2 years ago. When Facebook integrated it, that's when people started, oh yeah, we need to get a little bit more think on Instagram. And that's when I started thinking as well, even though I've been in the industry for 25 years. And you think, okay, that's a new platform. It's going to peter out at one point or other. It might not work for the business. But tell us a little bit, you work with business coaches, you work with other brands in promoting on Instagram. Tell us about what is the process? How do you do it? I take it you also help them posting their posts there.
Ways that I work throughout my Instagram. So I can work with brands where they come to me basically just to promote their products, promote their clothing. So the way that would work is they would come to me, offer me an item. They'd ask me what my fee is. I go back with my fee. I create a post for them, a story for them, a video for them. And the idea is that I'm giving good content, images that they can use again on their platform. And also I'm showing them to my audience. I've got a large audience, so that's what the attraction is. And then the other way that I work through my Instagram is working with coaches, working with people with small businesses, and I teach them how to use Instagram in an effective way.
Interesting, really. So how many times do you think we need to post?
So there was, I've done research into this, and again, I learn everything through what I do, and effectiveness. When the feed used to be in chronological order, because Instagram's feed used to be in chronological order, so it wasn't fighting to be seen, we wasn't fighting against anyone else. It was just if you posted at a certain time and somebody was active at that time, they'd see your post. Great, fantastic. But now they have changed their algorithm, which means it's harder to be seen. So it is actually more effective to post every 2 or 3 days. The reason for this is because your post will be at the top of your grid for longer. So even if you're putting content out there constantly every single day, it's going to be a new post and a new audience, but not as big as an audience, because the post is going to get put down. So you need to be leaving that one post on the top of your grid for at least 2 to 3 days.
Ah, interesting. Wow, that's a great tip. So post every other day or every 2 days,
Yeah,
so that your post is on the top and it gets more push, organic push. Oh,
yeah,
that's interesting. So what is the difference between like there's a new feature, right? The reels
yeah,
and stories and
yeah,
Instagram TV, and this in itself is in the ecosystem is so confusing, right? You've got reels, you've got Instagram TV, you've got your Instagram posts, and you've got stories. So how do you balance this, and what are the advantages? Do you use all of them, or do you use one or other? How does it work?
So within my business course, I have a business course which is tailored just to business people. One of
Mhm.
the sections I teach is putting a face behind the business, which I
Yeah,
know is a hard concept for people who don't like social media and are a bit worried about putting the face to, you know, a name and a brand. But
yeah,
stories are really, really fun tool and a way to incorporate this. So I
yeah,
always use the idea when you go into a salesperson, you get the patter, you get the conversation, and that's how they draw you in if you feed into that idea.
yeah.
And if you're online and you've got a business, but you're not showing your face behind the business, especially now through COVID with everything being online, how are people expected to buy into you? Because I strongly believe that people buy into people more than they buy into products and brands.
That's right.
So on your stories is a really good space to put your face and to put yourself and to put what you're up to. In my stories, the thing that I always teach is to put everything that's not good enough to put on your grid. So when you're having calls with, when you're coaching and you're having a call, obviously confidentiality is important, but you can put that you've got a scheduled call at whatever time, and you can incorporate hashtags into that and tagging into that. You can also, when you're answering your emails, although this sounds daft, it's people buy into people and they want to see that you're a real person and you're working hard behind the scenes. So
Yeah.
when you're answering your emails, you can put a story on that you're answering your emails and you're working hard. You can do a little intro into you on your stories. So you can film an intro where you say, "Hi, I'm Lindsay. This is what I do. Nice to meet you virtually." So it's a really fun space to just like to talk about what you do behind the scenes rather
Uh-huh.
than just what people see. Sorry, excuse my dogs. Um,
That's
the
okay.
real the reels are still very new. They are very,
Yeah.
very new. And I use them as a fun tool rather than a tool to advertise or advocate. So I use that for like fun things. So when I'm dancing and things, I'll put a reel on. The most effective way of posting still, to me and to my knowledge, is a physical grid post. Physical
Yes.
grid posts and stories are the most important. Stories are brilliant for building natural engagement, absolutely brilliant.
Oh, so you're saying reels are just for fun, just 10 seconds or 60 seconds video, just post it on, it's for fun. For mostly for businesses, it would be more stories and also the physical post, which you
Yeah,
do. So do you alternate stories and physical posts, or do you do it on the same day? How does that work? And I know stories have got only the lifetime of 24
yeah.
hours. So how does that work? Can we post stories every day and do the post every now and then, or how do you do it?
So the stories are the constant that you can use to make sure that people are seeing you. So you can
Yeah.
post stories literally whenever. There is no algorithm or best time to post stories or when you're going to get the most reach and engagement. Stories are there to remind people that, hi, I'm still here. So they're a really good tool to use in between the days of physical posting on your grid.
Mm-hmm.
You can keep that engagement up. You can also direct people from your stories to your grid posts. So if you upload a new grid post, you can put on your story, there's a new grid post, go check it out, which means that people from your stories are traveling to your Instagram page and engaging then with your post. So say you've posted one singular post, and for 2 days you've brought that traction from your stories to your Instagram feed. That's 2 days worth more of engagement that you wasn't going to get.
Ooh, you are a clever girl, aren't you? You are clever. That's really very interesting way to use. I've never heard this hack before. A very interesting way to use the stories to, because yes, story has not caught up with the algorithm yet. They will in the future sometime,
Yeah.
but they have not caught up in the algorithm. So it is a lot easier to divert the that or signpost.
Yeah.
Oh, that's clever. So when would you use Instagram TV then? Like,
Okay,
should that be
so
used?
Instagram TV is typically for your longer videos. So for me, on my Instagram TV, I do a takeover on a Sunday where I feature other artists and creatives, and I tend to put them on my Instagram TV so they can have the amount of time that they want.
Yeah.
Also, if I'm posting my public speaking, which I do, I post that onto my Instagram TV so that people can watch that full length without having to stop and start. So if you've got longer videos, even things like this for yourself, you can post this onto your Instagram TV. So you could have a series like you do on Facebook where you do your
Mhm.
interview. You can have that as a series on your Instagram TV. You
Is
you could
this is
sorry.
sorry, go on. I've got this idea, like on Instagram TV, is there a time limit? I know the live TV can be done, but
Yeah.
the not the recorded. Say, for example, if I take this video and put it in the Instagram TV, would that work, or is there a time limit?
I believe the time limit is an hour, but I'm not certain.
Ah,
I've seen videos up to that length, so I imagine that that may be the time limit. But I know that there definitely can be longer than 15 minutes, because I think that's the not the
is
minimum,
it
but sorry, go on.
does that I heard, I may be wrong, because this comes out, it turns out all the time, right? So I heard that Instagram TV, if you've got longer, like larger following like you, I mean, there are other people who have got more followers than you as well. So if you've got larger follower, you can do 60 minutes. But if you've got like no followers, or followers like mine who has got only in few hundreds, then you can do only 10 minutes. I've got to go and check that one out.
Yeah, maybe that's
Please
why I
save
got it in my head
tag.
as an hour. Maybe that's why I've got it in my head as an hour, because obviously I've reached that where I'm over 10,000
Yeah,
followers.
yeah, I think over 10,000 followers is the limit. But I've got to go and check, and I will come back to you people. So now, how how do you increase, can you give us a few tips on how to increase followers? I know you mentioned when we were talking before or off the show, that you've coached a client, and they reached 1,000 followers, or I don't know what you
Yeah,
mentioned, I forgot the number, 1,000 followers in a month. Or I know this is differs from one person to another person to another person, depending on niche and how presentable they are and all of that. So give us some tip on how can we increase followers, from like someone is watching this and say,
okay.
I want some takeaway. I want to go and implement that before I test out Lindsay. So
So
what are the
there's,
tips you can give?
so there's a really, really good tip. So a new feature on Instagram is to be able to share. So like we share posts on Facebook, we can share posts on Instagram. Now the
Ah,
algorithm loves it when your post is being shared. They absolutely love it. So when your post is being shared, your algorithm means that more people can see that, because Instagram boosts the post. So a
yeah.
really good tip, especially for business coaches and that kind of circle, is if you have a quote or you have something that you teach to your clients, or you have a word or a statement that you say, so like mine's the Fierce Fat Feminist, what you can do is you can create an image of just the text. So if we use a quote like "It's a beautiful day," that's a very layman's terms quote, but if you use a quote that you teach, you create an image just of your quote and you post that on Instagram. That is shareable content, and that is so important.
Not with your face on, just the quote.
Just the quote. So I've seen you do this on your page. You put quotes on your page, and they can be transferable to Instagram. And that means that people can share that post, because even though it's attached to you and your account, it's not directly attached to you as a person. So that could be transferable to anybody. So anybody could understand that, and that could have a meaning to them, which means that they could share that. So some of my most successful posts are posts where I've written a quote out, I've credited myself, so you put your name at the bottom in small writing.
Oh, so some branding. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But people have reshared that quote because it means something to them. So it might mean something different to them than it does to me. But because it's being shared, more people are coming to my account because more people are seeing my post because it's more visible. So for a business or a coach to create shareable content is absolutely vital. It's such an important easy tool to do.
Ooh, so that's a really good tip, because people are yesterday there was these affirmations and quotes remind us of something in our very primal brain that it just triggers something very important to us, which is, that's why quotes have become more popular. By even an unknown person writing a quote become more popular because of that. That's very interesting. Thank you very much for that. And what would be, if you had to give two other tips, what would that be? The one is write quotes, and share them. Shareable
content. So shareable content is really, really important. The next thing is to engage with other accounts. This can be time consuming and tedious, but when you're building genuine engagement, just like Facebook, so like you say, Facebook and Instagram, Facebook bought Instagram, so they have similar algorithms now. So if you know Facebook, apply it to Instagram. Just think outside the box a bit more. So think about how your content could be shareable. Think how the algorithm attach itself to Instagram. So by engaging with other accounts, I mean, engage with people who are within your niche. So if you are a public speaker, you can search the hashtag public speaker and then go and engage with people who are public speakers, because they're within your niche. Okay, they are similar to you, they've got a similar background. Obviously it might not be a similar topic, but you have something to start a conversation and genuine engagement with. And all you have to do is search the hashtag and then comment on their posts, or like their posts, or give them a follow. Genuine engagement is so important on Instagram. Alongside that, always reply to your comments. Never let your comments not be responded to. You must always reply to comments. Obviously, if you feel able to, at that time, obviously if you're not well or anything, but if you are able to at that time reply to comments, that's super important. And the third tip for gaining followers, well, I've got 4. I've got 1, what not to do. Definitely don't do.
That's more important. What not to do is more important than what to do. So tell that first.
Okay, so what you don't want to do on Instagram is do that game of following loads of people and then unfollowing them when they follow back. It's so...
I hate that. I hate that people do that on YouTube. People do that on Facebook. I make sure that if you're following, please do follow and then go unlike the page. Or it's such a bad thing to do, because these algorithms are not showing us who are unfollowing either. We can't follow them to say, okay, you've unfollowed. Why?
And the thing is with that as well is Instagram now picks up on that kind of behavior. So if you are guilty of doing that, Instagram is aware of that and will like stop your reach. So it will let your
Ah,
post be seen by less people because it knows what game you're playing essentially. So the
yeah.
algorithm will pick up that. So if you do that in any sense of the nature, if anybody does that, stop because Instagram will pick up on it.
Yeah,
So that
I think not many people I know do it, but I know when you go on these, you kind of say follow for follow, sub for sub, like for like,
yeah,
um, post in a bigger group. You go, they are putting those posts for the engagement, and you go put your link there, and you get links through them. That those are the peoples who are more culprits
yeah.
than normal friends way. So that's a very interesting. So now what to do?
The final tip I'd give for gaining followers would be to use your hashtags. So Instagram allows you to use up to 30 hashtags. So make sure
Would you
you use.
use 30 hashtags? Do you need 30 hashtags?
So I always teach within my courses to use at least 25 for each post.
Okay. Ah.
So that's a lot. That is a lot of hashtags. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, it is.
we could talk about hashtags for hours. I have a separate lesson on hashtags, but the fundamental point is make sure that you're using them. You know,
Yes.
don't not use them. They're giving you there as a tool to be found and people to search them. So you must use hashtags on your posts. They're really, really important.
Okay. So is your course an online course?
Yeah, so I do a Instagram basic course where there's 5 days to it in 6 sections, and I talk about how to get the most out of one singular post, how
Mhm.
to um, how to do stories effectively, how to use hashtags, how to gain followers, how to maintain followers, and also how to create an accessible Instagram, so to how to make sure that your Instagram is accessible to more people. And then I've just announced that I am doing like a trial business course, so it's on offer at just a fiver at the minute, where it's a three it's a 3 challenge. It's a 3-day challenge that is focused on business people. We are talking about bios, so how to make a good first impression when somebody visits your profile, how to get your bio down and make sure that people will go, right, I want to follow that person. The next section is analytics and understanding your algorithms and your analytics so you can read them and act upon them. Thirdly is how to put a face behind the business, which a
Hmm.
lot of people find that concept quite difficult at first. But when they start to put that to their Instagram, they see how valuable that is. And then also I do one-to-one sessions. They're called power hours, where that is a Zoom. So that is me and the client, and we talk whatever they want. They tell me what they're going to ask me. If I can answer it, I'll say yes, and then we'll schedule a call.
Okay. So this is one thing which I think many of us are scared about, and I spoke about this on my yesterday live about the trolling. Trolling for good. Trolling is always negative connotation, isn't it?
Yeah,
You go and leave a negative comment or be really bad. um Bad being, I'm using it in quotes because I can't use any stronger word than that. People are, oh, you're this, you're that, and some people cannot handle it. There are people who can handle it fine and good. Very few people who can handle it, I think. But
yeah,
many, even if they pose a very brave picture on their face,
yeah,
behind, this is why social media gets lots of bad name, I think.
yeah,
That people giving a negative comment, you are this, you are that, you're um, all sorts of comment which comes. Some I say they are bots, but some people are really bad. How do you
yeah.
handle it? you
Okay,
being an
so
activist, you must get all of this all the time. I feel, because the
yeah.
activists are the people who are targeted most of the time.
So I get it on a daily basis. I've been told that people are going to come to my house. I've been told that I deserve to die. I've been called everything and anything. I've had threats made to me. And the thing is I understand it's hard to deal with, and it is. It's not nice. And the more you put yourself out there, unfortunately, the more that you're going to get. That doesn't justify it in any way.
Yeah,
But what I'm saying is you have to be prepared for that. And what you can do is you can just block. We call it block
yeah.
and roll. That's what we call it. So if
Yeah,
you get,
that's what I say to my crowd. Just
yeah,
block them. I am a cybersecurity person, so I just say, just block them. If they are coming, that's when we need to be little bit more cautious about. Should we involve law enforcement and all of that? That would mostly won't happen.
yeah,
But for younger ones, it does happen a lot, like
yeah,
for you, for your type of work,
yeah,
which being a feminist, being an activist, does get really
yeah.
a bad lash. So what is the right way, like after block and roll, what is the other right way to do it? How do you work that out?
So if they are making a viable argument or they are prepared to discuss, even if they are in a faceless account, even if they're using a fake profile image, if they are
Yeah,
asking a question or are genuinely engaging, even if it's negative, but they are taking the time to, go about it a certain way, then I will engage back. And I will state my argument. If I feel that it's getting out of hand, then I'll just say I'm going to take this no further, and that is it. I may block
brilliant.
them afterwards. Sometimes they just stop. And in the influencer world, this is awful, but it's true. Instagram likes comments, and it'll boost your post if they see you've got a comment. So I'm not justifying it or saying that it's okay. But if you can handle it and you can handle having that conversation and having that dispute with them, you're doing a whole little conversation under your post, and Instagram's going to boost your post because you're engaging on your post. So I always say, thank you for
Ah.
improving the engagement on my post. And that usually stops them because they're realizing by commenting, they're making more people see my post. So I just let them crack on.
Oh, brilliant! That's a very good way. It's like use the negative
Yeah,
for the positivity of your channel. That's
yeah,
that's a good way to go about. Yeah, it's just use them, use them.
yeah,
Okay, if you want to talk, I'll let you talk,
yeah.
and make
Keep
fool of
going.
yourself. Make fool of yourself.
Yeah.
Brilliant. That was really wonderful. If people need to get in touch with you, please do share your links in the comments below.
Yeah,
And also on the YouTube, I would love you to share the
yeah,
YouTube, because that stays longer.
yeah,
As well, people there's a whole stream of people who come to that level. So if you could do that one, that would be great, so that people can get in touch with you. Of course, you can put in a comment, and I would direct you to Lindsay. And if you are in my group and want to get in touch with, I am going to add Lindsay to the group, and you can take it from there. I've also asked her to do few tips video within the group as well, so that would be easier for you guys to take it forward as well. So do you have, apart from this 3-day challenge, do you have any other challenge events coming with regards
Um,
to Instagram, or
not
no, or
exactly.
otherwise?
I do my one-to-ones, so they're available all year long. All I need somebody to
Yeah.
do is drop in and say, "Can I do a power hour with you?" We'll sort a date when I'm
You put
available.
in your put in your email address as well, so that would
Yeah,
be another way to get in touch with you.
yeah,
And
and
you
then
are also, which is not an Instagram talk, you're also doing um another event which I saw on your
Yes.
I got a message saying, "Oh, Lindsay is on live. Go and look for." So I went and looked for it, and that seemed to be a very good event, or I don't know. Was it an
Yeah.
event? You said.
Yeah. So
Put in a link.
yeah, so I talk about the idea of fat phobia. I do sometimes, I reserve myself from speaking about it in a business sense, just because
Yeah.
uh, I don't want it to detract away from the work that I do. And sometimes people don't buy into the activism idea. But I'm learning to speak about it more, and people can make their decisions on whether they agree or not. So the
So
event,
that one of the reasons which I left out your tagline is because of that one, because I don't um I want authenticity, but I don't want the activism and things like that somehow puts people off as well. I don't want that to be the mark.
yeah,
Sometimes that's good, sometimes it's good. It could be me or getting older. I've always been I've been labeled weird and rebel
yeah,
many times when I was growing up, and I totally understand what you mean as well. And at the same time, I've learned that doesn't work in all the settings. That's good. Put in your details if someone wants to get in. The group which I'm talking about, they're all very nice people who are
yeah,
in the line. There are not corporate. There are not many people who are
yeah.
in the corporate there, so that will work out fine for you. So please put in a detail. Before I go, I really want to ask these fun questions to you.
Go on
And what really makes you like, I can't stand this person? What makes you that? um there are
then.
certain things which put people off, right? It's a pet peeve. I
Yeah,
don't like that.
I
It's
like
making me cringy.
I like people to be polite, and I don't like people who are too corporate. Obviously, I can work alongside that, but I like people that I can read and that are easygoing. I'm
Yeah.
very relaxed in my approach. I always say that I talk quite common. And so I like it when I can relate to a person, but politeness is up there for me. It's very, very important to just be polite and be a nice person. So if somebody's rude, that really, really puts me off. Also, if they own a business or a brand and they are not inclusive in their audience, so they don't make a conscious effort to be inclusive, then I'll probably, unless they're prepared to work on that, I probably won't work with them myself. So if
Mhm.
they don't use inclusive, if they don't use different sizing, different races, sexualities, orientations, if they don't do that, they're probably not the right person to work with me. So they're my things that put me off.
Yeah. So these are more fun question. What is your favorite holiday destination?
I really liked Greece. I went to Greece and I really, really liked Greece. But I definitely want to go to Hollywood or Japan. They're the two places I'd love to go.
Ooh, that's cool. Japan is, you're different in the way, because not many people say Japan has got very beautiful culture to it. One of my cousin, they went, the whole family went to Japan start of the year. I think they were
Yeah.
there in the new year, so it was really very good. And interesting. So what is are you a book reader, or do you watch movie? What is your favorite pastime like? I would
Uh,
like to go out, or I will stay in, or what
I
would you
like
do?
documentaries. Documentaries are more my vibe. So I watch a lot of Louis Theroux's work. I don't know if you know who Louis Theroux is. I
Oh,
watch
okay.
his,
I don't know.
David
I don't know about, but I will go and check now.
David Parry. I watch a lot of his stuff. So I really like documentaries. I invest more of my time into documentaries. I am reading a book at the minute, Gina Martin, and she made upskirting illegal. She's an activist, and so I'm reading her book at the minute.
Oh, interesting. Very interesting. So are you a coffee or a tea drinker? I ask this question and people, I know the answer by before I even get out of it. What are you?
I don't drink any hot drinks. I don't drink any hot drinks. I had a coffee for the first time ever the other night whilst at work. That was the first time I've had a coffee ever.
Oh my God. Oh, you're strange. You're strange. How can you not drink a hot drink in
I,
this country? But that's as well, no, I mean it in a right way. I don't mean it in a wrong way. So what is your favorite you mentioned pastime is you read books and you watch documentary. What would, if given choice, like you can go out, you can sit at home with a book, or you can host a party within your house, what would be your favorite?
Go out, definitely, categorically. I love going out. I love socialising, so I'm finding lockdown very difficult. But I love going out, and I do like to have a drink. So
Yeah, good. That's good. So what would you go out with your girlfriend or a big group, or you just small group, or
So
how does
I'm
that work?
really, really, really close to my sister. So I'd usually go out with my sister and my best friend, and that's about it. But like I say, we usually talk to people whilst we're out. So yeah.
Okay, that's good. Thank you very much. Really, I enjoyed this interview very much, and you've given us loads of tips. And I am going to run watch party later this evening because some of the people from US wanted to watch this as well. So that would be the right time to run. Um, I will include you in that as well. And please remember to put all your links below so that
Yeah.
people can get in touch with you. And thank you very much for your time, and thanks for coming earlier to test the tech whether it works or not. That works as well. And I would and we've got a meeting to come as well, so we
Okay.
can talk about our business. Mm. That's all
Okay.
I've got to share with you people. And you heard her say, give us, I only asked her for 3 tips and she gave us 5 tips. If that is, go check out, and if I could summarize that later, I will summarize that later, because I wanted to take notes of certain tips which I can use in my Instagram account. Really, Instagram is there to stay now because it's attached to Facebook, and it is also been there are many improvements which are coming to it as well. So use it for your benefit as long as it's there. It's another social media, but don't rely on it completely. Have another way to get around you as well. So every platform has got its own advantages and disadvantages. So all we need to know is learn from the experts who come on the show and say, okay, this is good and that's bad, and it's pick and choose. That's all we can do. Lindsay will put in her details below, so you can get in touch with her and ask her questions, and if you want to work with her, work with her. And I am going to work with her, and I know what I want to do. I've decided even before she came on the show that I want some help. It is about asking help, and it's about implementing the help or the teach which they give you. Makes it more difference. It's not just, oh yeah, I want your help. It's implementing that into your business makes it more difficult. And we saw 2020 has been a nightmare year for businesses. If we need to use every avenues which is presented to us at the moment to make the 2021 the year of the business, year of the business transformation. So that's all I've got to share with you today. And next week with another expert, I will be here, and look out for my posts on that. And please, if you've not subscribed or liked or done any of that sort to any of my social media handle, please do that. It would be easier to convey it. I don't shout outside. I don't do messages, private messaging. All this is there. So it's up to you how you want to grow. So that's me. Thank you very much. And I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye for now.